Good morning, children of God.
Good morning.
It's so wonderful to see your smiling faces. As Christ unity, our purpose is to honor the Christ presence in everyone. We see and honor this truth as you. We welcome you with open arms and hearts, and we begin this celebration in prayer. O loving Father, Mother God, we acknowledge your presence moving in and through us this day. We take time to be open. We take time to be receptive. And we look forward to expressing your guidance and direction for us this day. We give thanks for the opportunity to come together, to sing, to worship, and to pray in the name, in the nature, and in the power of the Christ. Amen.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome this chilly morning. But the days are getting longer, aren't they? Which is nice. Here at Christ Unity Church, our guests are always welcome. And whether here in the sanctuary or on the internet. And we'd like to acknowledge our guests as first-timers, because after that we hope you will feel at home with our church family. For those online, please drop us a note. And for those here in the chapel, please stay following the service for fellowship so we can get better acquainted with you. If this is your first time at Christ Unity Church, please raise your hand. And our hostess has...
Rob, put your hand down.
Haven't you got enough welcome packets yet? No. Do we have someone here for the very first time this morning? Here's... And right up here in the front. Thank you for coming, and you bless us with your presence. And now we'll have the reading of our daily word, and Joyce will do the reading this morning.
January 18th. In oneness with God, I enter into a sacred space and fully experience peace. Sacred space. I choose a special place, a space I identify as my own, where I feel secure, peaceful, connected to God in every way. Here I have peace of mind, room to contemplate, or wisdom to let go of all thoughts and just be. I may know in this moment where that place is, or it may take time to identify it. My retreat area may bring me serenity because of its natural beauty, shadows, sunlight, water, features, or I may create my sacred space as I bring personal touches to it. Artwork, CDs, soft pillows. Perhaps it is sacred because it is quiet and still, empty of all distractions of my outer world. Having a sacred space is important for me. Here I find it easy to be aware of my inner self, to be in touch with my soul, to receive divine wisdom, to be at peace. Come no closer, remove the sandals from your feet, for the place on which you are standing is holy ground. Exodus 3:5.
There is only one power and one presence in life, God the good. We were created in the image and likeness of God, and therefore we are inherently good. And the way we stay in contact with that thought is through prayer and meditation. It's how we demonstrate the truth of us. And we begin now with I am. Steve? And because you have spoken the word, it is so. We take time and move to that place in consciousness that Jesus called our inner chamber, our secret place. And when we enter, we close the door. We close the door on all the thoughts and feelings about what I should have done. We close the door on all those thoughts and feelings about what I have yet to do. And in this holy moment, with each breath I take, I communicate with the truth of me. I am. I am one with the one. I am. I am whole and free. I am. I am at peace. And holding to this thought of oneness, I listen. For in my prayers I have asked, and here in meditation I listen. And that which is mine in this moment comes to me, and I claim it. And that which you hear or feel may come in the form of words, in the form of pictures, in the form of sounds. For each of us is different. But you will know from the depths of your being that this is the truth for you right now. And knowing this truth, I embrace it and I claim it. It is mine. And I am thankful for this gift. And I allow the thought of it to grow within me, and it moves through me into this room, into this now, where it joins with other thoughts of like mind and grows in strength and in power. And moves from this place into our community, into our country, into our world, and throughout our universe. And as this flow continues and grows, we know that somewhere, somewhen, someone says, thank you, thank you, thank you, for in this moment that which you have sent is exactly what I needed. And I am grateful. And that gratitude grows and swells and returns to you. And the circle is complete. And as I feel this wondrous flow, I allow it to continue to move in and through me. I am one with the one. And having given and received wonderful gifts, gently, easily, and effortlessly, I bring my attention back to this now, to this when, to this room, and from my heart with this new experience, the one I have just shared, holding that thought, I pray in the manner taught by Jesus, my elder brother, our Lord's Prayer. When did this celebration this morning begin for you? I ask it on purpose. Some people think that it begins when we come right down the aisle. I'm getting a little feedback, Lynn, if you could back the overhead down, main down just a little bit. So it's when you get ready, when you start coming in for church, okay? Good for you. Before the alarm this morning. Oh, good, I'm coming to church today. I checked to make sure the roof wouldn't fall down. No, just kidding. You work up with the alarm. See, all of us are a little bit different about when we think about what's new in our day, what's going to happen next in our day. What are we going to be about in a few minutes? Sometimes we come at it from the perspective of, but I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm just going to pull the cover up over my sheet and we'll start tomorrow. Let's pull the covers up. I get it. He tried? I saw a movie the other day and a guy was talking to a psychiatrist and he said, the day started out wonderful this morning and then I got up. Yeah. And sometimes that's how we feel, isn't it? The day started out wonderful and then I got up. And this is particularly true if you're one of those kinds of people who like to have lists and feel very much in control. Okay? And if you are one of those, God bless you, and you're in exactly the right place because you need more help than anybody else. And I say that because here's the truth. You are never in control. You are never in control. Who is in control? God. God's in charge of my life. I don't know what direction I'm going to take today. I just get up and live in it. And say, okay, what are we going to do today? Where would you have me go today? Now, that doesn't mean I don't have lists. I like to have lists, so I have a general idea where we're going. But I stay open to the notion that God's going to lead me where I need to be. And that leads us to this. Shall I be different? And the answer is yes. You need to be different. You need to be different. You don't need to be part of the sheeple. Bah. 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 Right? Follow the herd. Whatever that looks like for you. No, I don't want you to do that. I want you to live the truth of you. The truth of you is that you're different. You are one with expressing in a new way. We had fun last night. For those of you who missed the movie, Nainer. Because it was a good one. I mean, it was a good one. It's just the life story of Louise Hay, of Hay House. She was a religious science practitioner. And interesting story. I had never heard her particular story. But a couple of pieces that were in that resonated real strongly with me. And the fun thing was I'm sitting in the back of the room as I'm watching the movie going, And the notion was, I form my reality. I create my reality through thought held in mind. I can change my world through my thoughts and my feelings. And that's different. That's different. Most people form their reality based on what? What they, them, and what other people think. My parents always wanted to be a doctor. And it's working. I'm a brain surgeon. I'm already messing with your mind. But we start early, impressing what we think others think we should do. What others think we should be. How others think we should behave. And I want to point out, this does not come to you always in a disagreeable format. And we have a lot of people that have been raised up in circumstances of abuse and so forth and so on. Is that any different than someone who was raised in a circumstance of total love? And the answer is not really. In the sense that we absorb what is around us, we begin to behave based on what's coming to us. Because it's what we know. We live the truth we know. And at some point in consciousness, because it is the truth of you deep down, there comes this little voice. And I have lived with this one my whole life, and it's not very quiet. My little voice goes along something like this. There's got to be more. There's got to be more. What I have is great, but there's got to be more. This life is wonderful, but there has to be more. And so I start looking for more. And to look for more, you have to be different. Because where the crowd is going is already done. It's already done. Oh, let's get on that bandwagon. That looks like fun. Okay. No. You need to think about who you are. You need to make a conscious choice. In this moment, in this day, right here and right now, I choose to be different. I choose to live the life I know is mine to live. Not what anybody else says is right for me, but what I know from my gut. What I know from my intuition, my intuitive nature. I know it to be true for me, and live it. I will warn you in advance. I will warn you in advance. When you make that choice, that will not necessarily make your path easier. Simpler, yes, but not necessarily easier. And the reason I say that is because all the stuff that you've been carrying with you is going to argue loudly and longly with you. Wait a minute, why are you trying something new? This worked so well in the past. All I have to do to get the lollipop is throw a tantrum. I'll just kick my feet. Right? And that worked for so long. Right? But it was never the truth of you even then. Right? But now, you're taking a look at you and you're saying, I need to move out. I need to change who I think I am. I need to step out with that oneness. The truth of me. I need to follow that path that Jesus laid out. It's such a fun one, I have to tell you. Has anybody not seen the picture of the laughing Jesus? You've not seen that one? Oh, I have to bring that one around. That is just such a wonderful picture because it painted for me a whole different image when the first time I saw it. Because we're used to, like the images we have at the back of the chapel, with Jesus being open-armed and being serious and being all that stuff. All of which is true, by the way. But how can you have life and have it abundantly and not be joyous? So the laughing Jesus is the picture of Jesus with his head thrown back and a huge laugh. I mean, you can hear the picture. I can hear the picture. I can hear that picture. So I'll share it with you. I think it's important that you know that. That yes, the work is important. And yes, the spiritual path that you will choose is not an easy one, but it is simple. But it is embedded in joy. It is infused with joy when you will allow it. If you're having a challenge of any kind in your life, any kind, I don't care whether it's financial, I don't care whether it's a relationship, I don't care what it is, when you will rethink it and find the joy in it regardless, your world will change. Your relationships will get better, your finances will get better, your world will get better. Choose to be different. How many of you listened to the news this morning? Put your hand back down. Don't do that. Do yourself a favor. Turn that dog off. Okay? Here's why. See, what comes to us, we have the tendency to start to believe is true. Is there any lack or limitation in God? No. Is God in recession? Can God get depressed? So if that's not true, then why am I there? Am I moving away from? And if I'm moving away, from what? Only from the truth of me. In this moment, I choose not to express the truth of me. I'm going to sit and eat worms and be all blah. And if you're going to do that, okay. But just don't stay there very long, will you? Do it because your friends think you ought to. Oh, it's so bad. And then do that. Because you know it's the truth of you. It'll change your world. It'll change your world. Choose to be different. If you could change one thing in your current experience, what would that one thing be? Some of us have a really long list. Some of us have a short list, and some of us are going, I don't know what I would change. And if you're not sure what you would change, good for you. Think on it. And if your list is really long, make it longer. Make it longer by one. And here's the one. Regardless of the length of my list, today I step out in it. Because what happens is, from a human perspective, is the longer my list is, the less likely I am to do anything except make a longer list. Make a longer list. I'm working today. What are you working on? I'm making a longer list. Here's all the things that I'm going to change tomorrow. How long is your list? It'll be longer tomorrow. And pretty soon, where am I living? Right? Where am I living? I'm living in a world of lack and limitation. I'm not living in God's world anymore. From my perspective. From my perspective. I need to make that shift. To choose to be different. To choose to be different in my application of the truth of me. I choose to be whole and free. I choose to know the truth of me. I choose to step out in it. I choose to laugh. I choose to sing. I choose to worship. You all made those choices, some before breakfast. Today, something new. Okay? What choices will you make for tomorrow? New ones. Speaking of tomorrow, I didn't do it during announcements, but I will tell you, the office is closed. I don't know why that came to mind, but I figured I might as well just do it and get it out. We're going to take the holiday off, and that's just the way it is. And we'll be here Tuesday. I chose it. Someday I will figure out where this stuff comes from. Someday. I really pretty much know. And as part of that being different, part of it is knowing that you're where you need to be. Part of it is knowing that no matter what you do or say, if you'll do it with the intention of being in touch with the truth of you, it's going to work out for your best and highest good, regardless of the appearance. Regardless of the appearance. I know my highest and best has yet to come. Why? I'm still here. It's one of those duh things, duh. It's going to get better for you in one way or another, in your thinking, in your feeling, in your connection with the truth of you, when you choose it. And if you don't, that's okay too. That's okay too. Because we're all where we need to be. I had a conversation this last week about how people come and go in our life. And I miss some of those people who were in my life, and now I don't see them so often. And what's that all about? I kind of like it when they're all together. Makes for a full room. Right? Well, here's the truth. We come together, we learn, and we choose to experience it in a new way. And so we move to a new experience. And I then need to think on, what did I learn from this as it was? What will I learn from this as it is? And what will I learn from this as it moves forward? That doesn't mean that when somebody comes into your life, you suck them dry and throw them out. It's not what we're talking about here. I don't know where that thought came from either. I heard from some. No, we're talking about sharing, right? I'm giving and receiving. It works both ways. Shall I be different? Yes. I know that I've absolutely hit a nerve when I overhear either in fellowship or on the way out the door if somebody says to somebody else, I can't believe he said that in church. Whatever it is. What language are you speaking today? I don't know. But you see, I'm not upset about that, about the language that I use or the words that I use, because I'm a channel through which God works. And I know that to be true of me. I also know it to be true of you. We're talking about having recognition for the work you do and how nice it is when somebody says, bless you, you're just doing such wonderful work, and I'm so appreciative that I know you and met you, and for all the good that you do. And the human part of me goes, yeah. Yeah. And then I put on the face that everybody thinks you put on. Oh, no big, just being me. No, you need that recognition. Look for it. See, it's that whole cycle of giving and receiving. You are all wonderful givers by and large. Wonderful givers. And sometimes you're not so good receiving. Okay. And it's partly because of how we grew up. It's part of the stuff that we're hauling with us. This is how I choose to be different. I choose to say thank you when somebody says you're a wonderful, blessed child of God. Thank you. I think you're neat. Yes, I am. And it's not ego, not small ego. It is that recognition of oneness. It's what I share with you on a regular basis that you get to share with you too. I love you. That's not just a statement. It is the truth of me to you. I love you. You are in my prayers on a regular basis. I bless you. The fact that you're a part of my life is wonderful for me. I appreciate you. You give me an opportunity that no one else can other than myself. And that's when I look in the mirror to be able to say, I behold the Christ in you. That's a great gift. That's a wonderful gift. For it is the truth of you. You are an expression of God right here, right now. Acknowledge that in yourself. I am inherently good. Together? I am inherently good. That means that from the gut of me, from the midst of me, I am good. Does that always mean I'll make good choices? But the truth of me is I am inherently good. Together? I am inherently good. Now we're going to lock it in. Together? I am inherently good. That's your, and that's your mantra for this week. That's your mantra for this week, or this year, or this decade, or this millennium, depending on which cycle you want to begin. I am inherently good. Now comes the work. Now comes the challenge. Because when you leave this room today, somebody somewhere, and maybe somebody who loves you, will say, yeah, but you can't do that. whatever that happens to be. And when that happens, smile. And whether you say it out loud or from your heart, it goes like this. I love you. I bless you. I appreciate you. I behold the Christ in you, and I step out in that and look forward to the opportunity to do it again and again and again and again. And that makes you different. Breathe. From the core of you, you are different. Breathe. Your world just changed. And for that, I say thank you. And it is done.
Thank you for listening. Please feel free to pass this message along to your friends and family. You can obtain additional audio tapes or CDs by visiting our website or by calling our office at 541-772-6902. We invite you to join us in prayer. We know that prayer works, and now you can send your prayer request to our prayer team here at Christ Unity Church by using the form on our website. The activities, programs, and services of this ministry are presented on a love offering basis. All gifts, regardless of size, are gratefully accepted. You may participate either by sending your gift to Christ Unity Church, 540 North Holly Street, Medford, Oregon, 97501, or by visiting us on the internet at www.unitymedford.org.